Hello everyone and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix on the Sony PlayStation 3. I am One Wild Sheep yet again, and today in this part folks, we are going to be heading on back to Traverse Town to do a couple of things that are necessary to progress in the game. But first things first, let's show off some of these Keyblades. First things first is a Fairy Harp, which is a pretty powerful Keyblade but has a tiny reach. Then Metal Chocobo, which is a beast, and Olympia, which, like Metal Chocobo, is a beast of a Keyblade, but the problem is, Olympia has a very short range, and I can't see us really making too much use of it for the until the near future. So without any further ado, let's just get moving. Actually, wait, no, I am using Olympia. Never mind, I think. Am I? I don't know. Either way, let's just get moving back to Traverse Town, because when we get to Traverse Town, well, I want to show off the item synthesis shop, because that's an area of the game that we've had access to for quite some time, if I remember correctly, but I have not shown it off yet. So what you want to do is just walk back, and we'll be heading into the main accessory shop. And you'll remember that on the floor in the main accessory shop, there's actually a green trinity. I think there's a green one anyway. And we're going to be using that to gain access to the second floor. And you'll be floored to find out what's up there. Bad jokes aside, let's just continue and go up there. As you can guess, it's a Moogle shop, and Moogle shops... Later in the series, Moogles become like the generic everyday shops that you go to for items, but in this game they are purely synthesis shops. So you go all the way up here, and you can talk to the Moogle, not this one, and you can create items. So yeah, those items we've been picking up across the travels are pretty much useless as far as we know. Well, we can just basically go into this Moogle shop and use those items to create new items, which we can equip to Sora and make ourselves just more godlike. And before I forget, I better equip Glide, which lets us, well, glide. No! And that is a bit of foreshadowing that Kubo said. The ultimate weapon is actually a weapon you can get if you synthesize, aka create every single item in the Moogle shop, and then you'll be able to create the ultimate weapon, which obviously is the strongest weapon in the game. I'm not going for that in this playthrough, folks, because honestly I don't see the point of it. It takes too much time, and yeah, if I want to show off the ultimate weapon, I may just load up the PS2 game and just show that off to you guys, because I actually got it on the PS2 copy. But anyway, I digress. Let's just go and talk to Sid here, and we'll be able to continue on with the plot. So yeah, go on, install my navigation gummy so we can go to the next world.
Now, just remember what Donald said to you. No frowning, no sad faces.
How can you be so cheerful? There's still no sign of your king. Aren't you worried?
I'm worried.
The king told us to go out and find the key bearer, and we found you, so as long as we stick together, it'll all work out okay. You just gotta believe in yourself, that's all.
Just believe.
I believe in you.
Huh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Kyrie? Did you call me?
I find it difficult to think that she called him. I mean, none of these characters have cell phones. Okay. A boat joke. Anyway, basically Sid's gonna give us a bit of a warning about the next world because we are reaching the end game pretty soon. We aren't on the final world yet, but we are getting dreadfully close. And now we have actually completed every single Disney-themed world in the games. Everything from this point onwards is going to be somewhat Final Fantasy-esque. I say somewhat because the next world can sort of be thought of as a Beauty and Beast world for reasons, but I'm going to get into that I'm going to get into that a bit later on. But first things first, let's just stop buffing ourselves up with some items because we've got a bit of a challenge along the way now. Well, not really. But I will be honest, the next world coming up does have what I consider the hardest bosses of the main game. Not including the super bosses, because the super bosses of this game are ridiculously difficult, I find. I'm one of the few people that find them ridiculously difficult, but there we go. We'll get to them when we get to those. I still haven't actually recorded those super bosses yet, and I just can't bring myself to because I'm so bad at fighting them. I've only ever beat them all once, and that was through luck. Sheer force of luck. Either way, let's just get on moving past the world into the new world. So let's head on through. But one thing I'm gonna want to do before I reach this new world is actually modify my gummy ship one last time, because even though our trusty R-Wing has been very, very helpful to us throughout this adventure, we need to get a bit more buff onto the ship to well, we don't need to. We can actually quite survive using the ship we got right now. But I figured, screw it, let's make a brand new ship where we can destroy pretty much anything by loading loads of these armor blocks on. These armor blocks are very useful, you know? Purely because, well, they're armor blocks if they let you do more. Get hit more, that's the word. I'm just trying to think, my words are failing me. But basically I'm loading this out with as many weapons and items as I physically can at this point in time. Unfortunately, it makes the whole thing look like a complete mess, but that's beside the point. What am I doing? I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to put a wing on. There we go. So yeah. I shall dub thee the King Kai. Let's get on and finish off the adventure. But yeah, like I said, the next world's where the difficulty's going to start ramping up slowly. Like, the next world does house the hardest bosses from this point of the game up until the final boss. And honestly, the final boss isn't that difficult, but I'll get into that when I get into that. It's just warp all the way back up to Neverland. And, I wish I could say we're never going to visit that place again, but there's actually a super boss hidden in Neverland that we can't get until we beat this next world. Basically, this next world will ramp up the difficulty of every single world of the game that we've been to before. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the battle level of this thing. My god. Anyway, now that I've buffed up the ship with all kinds of weaponry, just look at the sheer number of lasers I'm firing. And if I had the ability, if I wanted to, I could probably put more lasers onto the ship if I wanted. You know, if I bought a certain thing in the shop. But I don't really need any more. This is just ridiculous as it is. Although I think I got rid of my laser, which I'm surprised that I did get rid of, because I do like using my lasers. You know, the homing lasers that sort of Panzer Dragoon their way through enemies. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hollow Bastion, a staple world of the Kingdom Hearts series, believe it or not, folks. We come here quite a few times during the franchise. And this first version of it is my favourite version of every single one of them. Alright, it's no voice cutscene. I don't like it when they don't do voice cutscenes. Anyway, yeah, look at this place. The water is flowing up. Whoa. And unlike Chrono Trigger, we're not going to really be able to do anything. Not Chrono Trigger. Like in Klonoa, we're not going to do anything about the rising waterfalls, so I guess it's just an aesthetic thing. It looks nice though. This entire world really has a sort of end game feel to it. And what was that roar? It's probably nothing. Let's get going. I'm sure that we won't be seeing whatever caused that roar in the first place. Anyway, this world's quite interesting because obviously it's a bunch of floating platforms. The entire introduction to this world, the Rising Falls section, is just one big platforming sequence. But you're gonna see these bubbles, fucking bubbles, floating around the place. Basically, jump into the bubble, and you'll fall under the ocean floor for a few seconds, and eventually you'll pop back up. Now you do need to go into these bubbles to get hold of certain treasure chests. I don't know if I do go for these treasure chests. It's been God knows how long since I last recorded this, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, let's just continue opening these chests. As time goes on in the game, if you start buying enough items, if the treasure chest contains a gummy ship item, if you have too many of those in stock, you will actually not be able to use the, you won't actually be able to use the treasure chest for the. Basically, you won't be able to take the item in the treasure chest because obviously, well, you've already got it. Anyway, that second bubble literally does nothing. It sends you to the same place the first bubble does, so you can sort of ignore it. Let's just continue climbing on up and see what's happening. Honestly, this isn't that difficult a section to do now that you have the high jump and glide. It's actually quite an easy and honestly surprisingly relaxing platforming section.
No vessel, no help from the Heartless. So tell me, how'd you get here?
I simply believed. Nothing more to it. When our world fell into darkness, Belle was taken from me. I vowed I would find her again, no matter what the cost. I believed I would find her. So here I am. She must be here. I will have her back!
Take her if you can.
Stop!
So, you finally made it. About time. I've been waiting for you. We've always been rivals, haven't we? You've always pushed me, as I've always pushed you.
Riku.
But it all ends here. There can't be two Keyblade Masters.
What are you talking about?
Let the Keyblade choose. Its true master. Maleficent was right. You don't have what it takes to save Kairi. It's up to me. Only the Keyblade Master can open the secret door and change the world.
But that's impossible. How did this happen? I'm the one who fought my way here with the Keyblade.
You were just the delivery boy. Sorry, your part's over now. Here, go play hero with this.
Goofy, let's go. We have to remember our mission.
Oh, well, I know the king told us to follow the key and all, but...
Slower. Sorry.
Hey, don't move! You're hurt.
Why did you come here? I came to fight for Belle. And though I am on my own, I will fight. I won't leave without her. That's why I'm here.
Me too. I'm not gonna give up now. I came here to find someone very important to me.
That cutscene irks me somewhat. Only in the land of anime can a 14, 15-year-old boy take out a giant beast-like beast. I don't know. But anyway, we now don't have the Keyblade anymore, which is an extremely large detriment to us, because if you remember back at the beginning of the game in a tutorial sequence, or before we initially got the Keyblade, with the wooden sword, we can't actually hurt the Heartless, which means we have nothing to rely on for our strength now apart from magic and beast. That is it. Fortunately, we have no right-dish magic bar, so we shouldn't be too badly off, right? Well, either way, we are completely useless without this Keyblade, so what's the first thing we're gonna have to do? We need to infiltrate this castle and find a way to get that thing back. So with that, folks, that has been the end of this part, so hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish. I'm going to return next time. We will take care of the rest of Hollow Bastion and get back our weapon. Bloody Riku. Thanks for watching.